Hi there, my name is Aaron, and welcome to the Kull Center, or in this case, Kull Comics, because we've got a small unboxing to do this morning. So I received my package for my latest unbox, and I thought, for a change, let's unbox this on camera. So let's get out trusty Mr. C. And normally, when it's an omnibus, the packaging is usually a box. You usually get a box. So it's slightly concerning that this is the second thing I've ordered from this company. They have good prices, but the packaging, at least the one omnibus on its own, is pretty lackluster. So we'll check it out, see how everything came, because sending an omnibus, which is a rather large book, and oftentimes, even at the cheapest, not exactly the unpriciest, will be a bit, well, it's not the greatest when it comes to packaging. Alright, but let's check this out. Okay, so it looks like this one here still has the wrapping on it, and which is fantastic. I love this artwork, by the way. So, Robert E. Howard is the author of Conan and of Kull and Solomon Kane and characters like that. For when I was growing up, Marvel held the rights to the Conan, Kull, all the Solomon Kane, Red Sonja, all that stuff. Later on, in later years, you'd have companies like Dynamite and Dark Horse and that be the ones that would be taking over what taking that over. Unfortunately, fortunately, Marvel got the rights back, and they've been putting out these amazing omnibuses, which have been much better than the Dark Horse releases that came out previously. So this year they lost the rights to it. So as far as I know right now, as things go, it is going to be probably around. They're going to stop printing these, so there'll be still some on the market, but the printing will stop with these in at the end of the year. So this here is one of the greats, and one of the ones that I really wanted, and that is Kull the Destroyer. I have another Kull on the way. There are 3 Kull omnibuses in total. There's Kull the Destroyer, which is the original Kull series with color and some black and white. There is Kull the Savage, which is the middle one and deals with the stories that would be located in Kull the Barbarian, the black and white, and a lot of Savage Sword of Conan backstories. So that's where you get the more, like, I guess, adult material. And when I say adult, I mean like X-rated. I mean just like, more violent. You can show a little bit of nudity, that type of thing. It's more stories that are definitely leaning towards the adult range, I guess. So the first thing we're going to look at right here is we are going to look at the back, and right here in the back you can see the different covers for different issues of the comics. What this one includes, by the way, is we have Kull the Conqueror from 1971, issues 1 to 10, Kull the Destroyer. This one got renamed, issues 11 to 29. Material from Creatures on the Loose, that should be the first appearance of Kull. It's a Bernie Wrightson drawn story. We have Monsters on the Prowl, number 16, Kull and the Barbarians, 1 to 3, that's the black and white one. Savage Sword of Conan, number 9, and Conan the Barbarian, number 10, and annual number 3. So, I guess what I'll do here, slightly off screen, I'll bring my thing over here, is when you get one of these books, the first thing to do, the most important thing to do is you stretch out the spine. You want to make sure that it doesn't, there's no breakage in the spine. So what I'm doing right now is I am just doing a little bit of stretching for it right here, and I'll show you the inside in a second. It is gorgeous, just as I thought. One of the neat things about these earlier ones that they did is that they put the letters pages. So if there was a comic book and it had a letters page included, then the letters pages are in the earlier Marvel, like the Silver Age stuff. Unfortunately, DC doesn't do that. So if you find a letter or letters page in a DC book, it's one letters page, and it's usually like considered a special feature in the back this here is more the norm, par for the course. So if you remember the character of Tulsa Doom, you'll probably remember him from like Conan. But the character is actually, it's a Kull character. And, okay, so let's dive into this a bit. It's a Kull character, so we got him right here. Let's slip off the slip cover because you want to see what it actually looks like. Just like your local film that has its movie that has a slip cover, so do these. These have slip covers as well, and the good ones have artwork and stuff underneath it. And this one is. So we have Kull the Destroyer. It has this kind of marble look to it. And there is the there's your Marvel ears, and there's the crown, because unlike Conan, for most of it, Kull is a king, and he was around years before Conan came about. One of the really good things about these here books, and I'll have to say this right now, is they have some great like write-ups. So here's the table of contents there. Bit of gutter loss at the beginning here. I got to stretch this out. But they have an introduction by Roy Thomas. So Roy Thomas is not just a comic book writer and editor. He's a comics historian, and he knows his stuff. So this is a fairly long introduction. Every one of these here, because of course they're set in a kind of fantastical land and time, just like Lord of the Rings would do, and all the others there'll be a map. So when you're reading, you can actually go refer back to the map if you want to see. This is the first appearance of Kull, and it was done by famous monster drawer Bernie Wrightson, of course, who did the Swamp Thing. And you can see already, like, I gotta be careful with this because it's still cracking a bit. See a monster right on the cover there. This creature's on the loose. And Wrightson was really good when it came to doing creatures and doing monsters. We get to the first issue of Kull the Conqueror. Done by Ross Andrew and Wally Wood, so which is really good. Actually, I'm going to be doing a video eventually about the tragic life of Wally Wood, the famed comic artist, and the first kind of rock and roll era comic book artist where he became like pretty much known. Here's the issue from Monsters on the Prowl. Looks like we got John Severin working on this one. Yeah, Marie and John Severin actually. So some great artwork right here, and see if I can show you what I mean by the letters pages. A lot of people, when they're doing these omnibus overviews, neglect to show show things like letters pages and stuff like that. And when I sometimes have to go through 4 or 5 videos to find out if they're included, and it's an important thing for me to know. It's something that I want included in my omnibus. So I will go through, and I'll see people skip over, and they'll get to a letters page and they'll just skip right over it and won't show it at all. And it's one of my pet peeves about some people when they're doing omnibus overviews. So we got the letters page right here, the Thurian Chronicles. They'll have like the stuff down below. Sometimes there'll be like certain ads and aspects to this as well. Yeah, this is the Marie John Severin era. When it becomes Kull the Destroyer too, we get like I think Plug. Yeah, Plug is writing on doing an artwork on here. We got writing by Roy Thomas. So always glad to see that. What I really want to show you before we go any further is the black and white one that was done. So there's a Kull the Savage book that came out that has a lot of the black and white work, but they don't have all of it. So there's a few things that were missing, and they're put in here. So here's the Kull and the Barbarians, issue number 1. I love the covers here, by the way. So even if the book is in black and white, then the covers will be done in the original color, of course. There's one of the articles here, the Barbarians. I'm talking about the different, like an editorial retrospective by Roy Thomas, talking about like Kull and Conan and Red Sonja and Solomon Kane. Hear now the words of Tulsa, Oklahoma, binder of demons. Listen, creeps. If you want to read the second issue of Kull and the Barbarians, you're going to buy your own copies. So there you go. It's kind of interesting. There's a retrospective review on King Kull right here. And A lesser like company would put this at the back and just consider it extras, but they're actually giving you the stuff right in the inside there. There's a Kull Destroyers, a story that was done by Jerry Conway, and I love the black and white art right here. It is gorgeous. It's so rough, and look at old Tulsa Doom right there. Heavy is the head of the he who wears the crown, right? So there's a lot of like really good black and white stuff in here that I'm really excited to read. I love black and white stuff. The only Kull omnibus that I'll have to get after the next one comes, there's another one on the way, would be called Savage. That's my my last one that I need to pick up. Then I'll have all the Kull, and I'll be working on getting the rest of the Conan. So here's where Kull came back after they stopped the comics for a while. Kull the Destroyer. What's incredible to me is how much of this I remember, even though I have yet to. I just opened this book because this is the stuff that I read, the stuff that I was into. Now, as for like a features in the back, we got a few here, so I won't show you everything because I want you to be surprised for some stuff. But okay, so we got some art breakdown. So if you're an artist or an art, you're going to really appreciate this. So you get some like covers that were changed, and some original like art pieces in the back here. I love when they do that. And here's some of the hand-painted color guides for the covers that were done. And I've never seen that in a book before, actually, so that's new to me. But so to see the color guides it's really cool. Because here's a black and white just before, and right after here we got a color guide as well. But that's not all. Like, I love that type of stuff. But you also get some. You also get some. I get it here. It's like a special pinup that was done for Marvel Treasure Edition. And this was done by, who did this pinup here? It is done by Duffy Volland. And there is another big article on King Kull. King Kull lives right there. Wow, this pretty extensive article actually. There's a Foom, Friends of Marvel, interview with Marie Severin in the back, and there is the introductions, because these were originally, some of these were put originally with from Dark Horse, and they put them on the Kull, the Chronicles, is how they did the Chronicles of Kull. So there's the introduction by Mark Finn here from the Kull Chronicles, and so you can see right there that his written introductions are included. So there you go. That is Kull the Destroyer, my latest, number 46 in my omnibus collection. And I am extremely excited to dive into this one, though if I can stop myself from doing it, I'll try not to dive into it for a little bit, but I can't promise anything. This is one I wanted to wait on Morocco for, but who knows. Kull the Destroyer. I love these type of books. I only have one Conan book so far. Hopefully more Conan coming in the future, though. And I'll update you, and I'll try to do more live unboxings like this one. Well, kind of live unboxings like this one right here. I will see you soon right here in the Cult of Cinema and the Cult of Comics. Tonight is the big night, so I hope to see you all here for the big Thursday video, because we're going to be talking about the whole big Severance sale. And that's today. So I'm going to go have some breakfast and probably take a nap, so I can be ready to stay up late, because this is going to be a long night, and God, I want to read that book. I will see you soon.